Have you ever noticed how a single drop of dark ink can change the color of an entire glass of water? What if the same thing is happening to your days, not because of massive tragedies, but because of tiny, ordinary frustrations? Most of your mental exhaustion is not caused by the heavy burdens you carry. It is caused by the small inconveniences you refuse to let go of. If you have ever felt your entire mood collapse over a slow line, a careless comment, or a spilled cup of coffee, this is for you. Stay until the end, because the final lesson may change the way you see the quiet, ordinary moments of your life before they slip away forever. 1. The weight of small inconveniences. Why is it that you can survive a massive storm in your life with remarkable courage, yet completely lose your peace over a minor delay? Think about how often a perfectly good morning is suddenly ruined. You wake up with quiet intentions, you make your tea, you breathe, and then traffic comes to a standstill. An unexpected bill arrives. Someone bumps into you and does not look back. In a fraction of a second, the peace is gone. A heavy frustration settles over your mind, and you carry it with you into every conversation. You let a 10-second inconvenience dictate the next 10 hours of your life. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that our deepest suffering rarely comes from the event itself, but from our fierce resistance to it. We suffer because we silently demand that reality bends perfectly to our expectations. When the world does not cooperate with our schedule, we feel personally wronged. We cling tightly to the idea of how the day should have gone, instead of breathing into the day as it is. In Buddhist thought, this is the subtle trap of attachment, not just attachment to possessions, but attachment to a frictionless life. Imagine a clear, still lake perfectly reflecting the morning sky. If a tiny pebble drops into the water, ripples immediately distort the reflection. The pebble is small, it sinks to the bottom in an instant. But if you stand on the edge and angrily throw more stones at the ripples, trying to force the water to smooth out, you only create more chaos. The only way the lake returns to stillness is if you simply let it settle. In our daily lives, we are constantly throwing stones at our own ripples. An internet connection drops, and instead of taking a deep breath, you sit at your desk boiling with tension, letting the frustration hijack your focus. A partner leaves a mess in the kitchen, and you spend the whole afternoon having a silent, imaginary argument with them in your head. Ask yourself, when a minor inconvenience strikes, are you letting the single pebble sink, or are you throwing more stones at the ripples? Is replaying this tiny frustration bringing you peace, or is it feeding your exhaustion? Pause, breathe. The next time something small disrupts your path, just observe the frustration rising within your chest. Watch it as if you are watching a dark cloud pass across a vast sky. You do not need to fight the cloud. You do not need to curse the wind. Let the feeling rise without making it your identity. Fix what needs to be fixed, and then release the outcome. You do not have to give a passing moment the power to steal your joy. Peace is not found in a life without inconveniences. It is found in the quiet strength to let them go. But releasing that initial irritation is only the first step. And this is where the next truth begins. Because beneath every sudden ruined mood is a hidden demand that is quietly stealing your happiness. 2. The illusion of the perfect day. Here is a truth few people want to face. The reason you are so easily irritated by the world is because you are carrying a map of a world that does not exist. You wake up with an unspoken contract in your mind, a script of exactly how the next 12 hours should unfold. The commute must be smooth, the coffee must be hot, people must be polite, the schedule must be followed. But what if the very expectation of a perfect day is exactly what guarantees your suffering? Think about how much energy you spend trying to arrange reality. You plan your weekend down to the hour. You curate your morning routine to find peace. But the moment something unpredictable happens, a sudden rainstorm, a cancelled plan, a misplaced set of keys, your entire mood shatters. You feel cheated. You feel as though life is working against you. But life is not working against you. It is just being life. Your exhaustion comes from the constant, impossible effort of trying to force reality to match the perfect picture in your head. One of the deepest lessons of Buddhism is the practice of letting go of how things should be. When we seek peace, we often believe it means eliminating all friction from our lives. But Buddhism reminds us that the nature of existence is constant change. We suffer because we demand absolute control in a universe of infinite, unpredictable variables. We think happiness is a destination we reach only once all the problems are removed. But true peace is not the absence of disruption. It is the ability to remain open when the disruption arrives. Imagine walking through an ancient, beautiful forest. If your only goal is to walk on a perfectly paved, flawless road, you will spend the entire journey angry at the roots, irritated by the mud, and frustrated by the fallen branches. You will curse the wind for scattering leaves across your path. But the forest is not broken. It is simply doing what a wild forest does. If you put away the expectation of a paved road, you can finally see the beauty around you. You can step over the roots. You can feel the breeze without resenting it. You do this in your own life every day. You go to work expecting a flawless day. And when a coworker makes a mistake or a deadline shifts, you become the person cursing the wind. You plan a quiet evening at home, and when a sudden noise interrupts your rest, your peace is instantly replaced by bitter resentment. You are trying to sweep all the leaves from the forest floor, completely missing the life happening around you. Think about your own life. What rigid expectations are you carrying into your mornings? What are you demanding from the people around you, from your environment, from the very universe itself? Are you fighting the roots on the path, or are you learning to step over them? Stop trying to force the door open. When the day shifts in an unexpected direction, pause, soften your grip. Say to yourself quietly, "This is how it is right now." You do not have to like the inconvenience, but you do not have to let it consume you either. Allow the day to be messy. Allow life to be unpredictable, because trying to control the uncontrollable will only leave you tired and bitter. But letting go of this illusion is just the beginning. And this is where the next truth reveals itself. Because while you are busy fighting the inconveniences of the present moment, something profoundly precious is silently slipping away. 3. The thief of the present moment. What if the real danger of a ruined mood is not the anger itself, but what the anger silently steals from you? When you let a small inconvenience hijack your day, you do not just lose your temper, you lose your time. You walk into your home after a long day, carrying the weight of a rude comment, a long line, or a delayed commute. Your loved ones are there. Your dinner is warm, the evening is quiet. But you are not really there. You are physically standing in the living room, but your mind is trapped hours in the past, fighting a ghost that has long since vanished. You give the best parts of your day to the worst parts of your day. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that the present moment is the only place where life actually happens. The past is a shadow. The future is an illusion. When we allow a minor frustration to loop endlessly in our minds, we are abandoning the only reality we have. In Buddhism, mindfulness is not simply about feeling calm. It is about waking up to exactly where you are. Our suffering multiplies when we refuse to drop a painful thought, dragging a dead moment into a living present. Imagine standing on the bank of a wide, peaceful river, flowing gently toward the ocean. The water is clear, and the late afternoon sun is reflecting off the surface. It is a moment of profound beauty, but instead of taking in the vastness of the river, you find a single piece of dead, sharp driftwood washed up in the mud. You pick it up. You hold it tightly in your hands, staring at it, complaining about its sharp edges, turning it over and over again in frustration. The beautiful river continues to flow right past you, but you do not even look up. You are entirely consumed by a broken piece of wood. How often do you hold on to the driftwood in your own life? You sit down to rest in the evening, but you are silently obsessing over an email you received at work. You take a walk in the crisp air, but your mind is loudly replaying a trivial misunderstanding from the morning. You are ignoring the people in front of you. You are missing the very life you are working so hard to build, all because you refuse to put down a temporary frustration. Think about your own life. What ordinary moments are you missing right now because your mind is somewhere else? What are you afraid will happen if you simply let the irritation go? Is being right about a small inconvenience worth sacrificing the peace of this exact moment? Pause. Breathe. Notice the physical space around you right now. When you catch your mind replaying a frustrating memory, gently interrupt the loop. You do not need to judge yourself. Acknowledge the thought, and then consciously drop the driftwood. Return to the room, because the present moment is too fragile and too precious to waste on things that will not matter tomorrow. But realizing you have lost the moment is only part of the journey. To truly find quiet strength, you must learn to navigate the very split second that the frustration strikes. And this is where the next truth begins. 4. The space between reaction and reality. What if your greatest power is not in how hard you fight back, but in the quiet moment before you respond? Here is the truth. Most of our emotional exhaustion does not come from the inconvenience itself, but from the speed of our reaction. When a sudden mistake ruins your work, or a stranger is unnecessarily rude, the anger flares in an instant. The chest tightens, the jaw clenches. In that split second, you snap at a loved one. You fire off a bitter message. You say the sharp, defensive words before you even realize they have left your mouth. We believe that we must react immediately to defend our pride, to fix the problem, or to prove that we are right. But this instant, blind reaction is exactly what locks us into a ruined mood for the rest of the day. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that there is a profound, silent space between what happens to you and how you choose to respond. In that space lies your entire freedom. We often mistake our initial, fiery emotion for our permanent identity. We think, I feel angry, therefore I must act angrily. But Buddhism reminds us that emotions are simply visitors passing through the mind. You do not have to invite every visitor in and offer them a seat at your table. The pause before reacting is where true wisdom lives. Imagine a dark, quiet room where a single bright spark suddenly flies from the fireplace. If you panic, rush forward and try to stomp it out. With your bare feet, you will only burn yourself and scatter the hot embers across the room. You will turn a harmless spark into a devastating fire. But if you simply stand back, breathe, and watch the spark land on the cold stone floor, it will glow fiercely for just one moment, flicker, and then fade away into harmless ash entirely on its own. In our lives, we treat every tiny frustration like a raging fire that we must fight immediately. A minor miscommunication happens at work, and instead of letting it settle, you instantly send a heated, defensive reply. A partner forgets a small task, and you immediately launch into a bitter lecture. By reacting instantly, you are stomping on the spark. You are turning a fleeting moment of irritation into hours of tension, burning through your own peace and the peace of everyone around you. Think about your own life. How many ruined days could have been saved if you had simply waited 10 seconds before speaking? What are you actually defending when you let a minor inconvenience force you into anger? Is this quick reaction protecting your peace, or is it actively destroying it? Pause. Breathe. The next time you feel that sudden flash of heat in your chest, do absolutely nothing. Do not speak. Do not type. Do not fix it. Just stand still. Observe the heat rising in your mind and watch it fall away on its own. You do not have to catch every spark that flies your way. Letting a frustration burn out naturally is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate quiet strength. But finding this space requires us to understand what is truly at stake when we lose our temper. And this is where the next truth begins. Because in our rush to fight the small battles of the day, we are entirely forgetting how fragile and temporary these ordinary moments really are. 5. The fragility of the ordinary. What if the ordinary moments you are so easily irritated by are the very moments you will one day beg to have back? Here is the truth. We live our lives as if mundane days are infinite. Because we expect tomorrow to look exactly like today, we take the present for granted. We become deeply annoyed by a partner asking a repetitive question. We sigh in frustration at the noisy chaos of a family dinner. We complain about the endless, boring routine of our daily commute. We let these small frictions ruin our mood because we falsely believe we have an endless supply of time to eventually be happy. We treat the present moment not as a gift, but as an obstacle in the way of a perfect future. In Buddhist thought, one of the most powerful awakenings is the deep realization of impermanence. Everything is in a constant state of flux. The people you love, the home you live in, the quiet routines that structure your week, they are all temporary. Buddhism reminds us that when we truly accept impermanence, the ordinary suddenly becomes sacred. We stop fighting the small inconveniences because we recognize the sheer, heartbreaking privilege it is to simply be here, experiencing life at all. Imagine a single warm candle burning quietly in a room. Because it is always there, you begin to ignore it. You might even complain that it is not bright enough, or you might focus on the dark shadows it casts in the corners. You are so bothered by the shadows that you forget the beauty of the flame, but the wax is always melting. Suddenly, an unexpected gust of wind sweeps through the window and blows the candle out. The room goes entirely dark. In that heavy, freezing darkness, you do not wish for a brighter, more perfect light. You simply wish, with all your heart, for the warm, imperfect glow you just lost. In your everyday life, you are surrounded by these candles. You are irritated by the muddy shoes left in the hallway, but one day, that hallway will be perfectly clean, and it will be entirely silent. You are exhausted by the loud, chaotic mornings, trying to get everyone out the door, but one day you will look back on this era of your life with aching nostalgia. The minor inconveniences you fight so bitterly are often the fingerprints of the people you love. They are the proof that you are living a full, beautiful, and complicated life. Think about your own life. What ordinary annoyance in your current routine is actually a disguised blessing? If everything changed tomorrow, what frustrating, boring, or mundane moment from today would you desperately miss? Are you focusing on the shadows, or are you honoring the flame? Pause, breathe. Look around your space right now. Notice one very ordinary, perhaps slightly messy or imperfect thing in your life. Do not judge it. Do not try to fix it. Silently acknowledge that it is here, and let yourself feel a quiet gratitude for its temporary presence. You do not need a perfect life to have a beautiful life. You only need the presence to appreciate it while the candle is still burning. But knowing this intellectually and actually feeling it in the heat of a ruined mood are two different things. How do we let go when the frustration has already taken hold? And this is where the next truth begins. 6. Letting go of the ruined mood. Have you ever noticed how, Long after a frustration has passed, you somehow refuse to let yourself feel good again. Here is the strange reality of a ruined mood. Even when the minor inconvenience is completely resolved, the traffic has cleared, the internet is back on, the spilled coffee is cleaned up, you often choose to stay angry. You carry a heavy, dark energy into the next hour, punishing yourself and everyone around you. It is as if you believe that dropping the anger means you are letting the universe win, or that your frustration was not justified. You become fiercely attached to your own unhappiness, mistakenly believing that holding on to a bad mood is a form of power or self-respect. Buddhist wisdom teaches us about the profound suffering caused by ego. When a minor thing goes wrong, the ego feels attacked. It tells you that you have been wronged, and that you must hold on to the resentment to validate your experience. In Buddhism, the practice of non-attachment is not just about letting go of physical objects. It is about letting go of the heavy, painful stories we tell ourselves. You do not have to hold on to a negative state just because you invested energy into creating it. Letting go is not a surrender to the world. It is a profound act of mercy toward yourself. Imagine you are walking down a path and a sudden gust of wind blows a sharp thorn into your shoulder. It hurts. You are entirely justified in feeling the pain of that initial sting. But instead of simply pulling the thorn out and continuing your walk, you leave it there. For the next 5 miles, every time you take a step, the thorn digs deeper into your skin. You complain about the wind. You analyze why the thorn hit you. But the entire time, your own hand is resting on your shoulder, refusing to remove the source of the pain. How often do you leave the thorn in? A coworker dismisses your idea in a morning meeting. It is a sharp, painful sting. But the meeting ends. You go back to your desk, and instead of pulling the thorn out, you replay the conversation silently for 3 hours, actively keeping the wound open. You bring that lingering irritation home to your family, letting the pain of the morning poison the peace of the evening. You are carrying the thorn long after the wind has stopped blowing. Ask yourself, what happened today that is already over, but you are still carrying the emotional weight of it? Are you holding on to this frustration because it is serving you, or simply because your ego refuses to let it go? What would happen if you just decided to be done with it? Pause, breathe. When you realize you are holding on to a ruined mood, make a conscious, quiet decision to pull the thorn out. You do not need to analyze it. Just say to yourself, the moment has passed, and I choose to leave it behind. Take a deep breath and physically relax your shoulders. You have the power to restart your day at any given second. You do not have to let one bad minute poison the remaining hours. But returning to peace requires a shift in how you view your own resilience. And this is where the next truth begins. 7. The quiet strength of returning. What if true inner peace is not about never losing your balance, but about how quickly you gently return to it? Here is the truth. We often misunderstand what it means to be a calm, grounded person. We believe that peace requires absolute emotional perfection. We think that if we truly had control of our minds, we would never feel irritated by a slow line at the store. We would never snap at a loved one, and we would never feel overwhelmed by an unexpectedly busy day. So, when we inevitably do lose our temper over a small inconvenience, we do not just feel angry, we feel guilty. We judge ourselves harshly. We tell ourselves that we have failed, and that secondary wave of self-judgment keeps us locked in a ruined mood even longer. We become deeply angry at ourselves for being angry in the first place. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that a wandering, reacting mind is simply the nature of being human. In the practice of meditation, the ultimate goal is not to force the mind into a state of permanent, unbroken silence. The practice is found in the gentle act of noticing when the mind has drifted and quietly bringing it back. Buddhism reminds us that the victory is not in the perfection, it is in the returning. We do not need to punish ourselves for feeling the temporary turbulence of the world. We only need to remember how to come home. Imagine a tall, ancient bamboo tree standing near the edge of a mountain. When a sudden, violent storm rolls in, the bamboo does not try to stand perfectly rigid and fight the wind. If it refused to yield, its trunk would shatter under the immense pressure. Instead, the bamboo bends. It bows deeply toward the earth. It lets the howling wind move entirely through its leaves. But the magnificent strength of the bamboo is this: the very second the wind stops blowing, the tree does not stay bent. It slowly, silently, and effortlessly returns to its center, standing just as tall as it did before the storm. Its true power is not in resisting the wind, but in its absolute trust that it can always return to upright stillness. In your own life, you often try to be a rigid wall of stone. You try to permanently block out all the stress of your workplace, the demands of your family, and the frustrations of an unpredictable day. But the wind will always blow. You will receive a frustrating email. You will feel ignored. You will bend under the weight of a sudden anxiety. That is not a failure. The real problem is that long after the email is sent, long after the conversation is over, you remain bent. You hold your mind and your body in a tense, defensive position, bracing for a storm that has already passed. Think about your own life. Are you punishing yourself for feeling the wind? When you make a mistake or lose your temper, do you allow yourself to recover, or do you stay bent over in guilt and frustration? What would happen if you simply let yourself stand tall again? Pause, breathe. Forgive yourself for reacting. You felt frustrated. You lost your peace. Let that be okay. You do not have to perfectly defend your reaction, and you do not have to feel guilty about it. Just gently guide your attention back to the breath, back to the room, back to this exact second. Because true resilience is not about never feeling the chaos of the world. It is about trusting that your center will always be waiting for you when you are ready to come back. And this is where the final truth awaits. Because when you finally learn to stop fighting the small inconveniences, you will see exactly what remains in the quiet. 8. Honoring the imperfect now. What if you finally stopped waiting for the perfect day to begin and decided to find peace exactly where you are, standing right now? In the beginning, we talked about how easily a single drop of ink can change the color of the water, and how a tiny inconvenience can cast a long, dark shadow over your entire day. We spend so much of our lives waiting for the water to clear, waiting for the weekend, waiting for the chores to be done, waiting for a time when everything is finally quiet. We believe that life will truly begin once all the obstacles are removed, but the obstacles are not blocking the path. They are the path. Buddhist wisdom gently reminds us that everything we are desperately searching for, peace, clarity, joy, and deep connection, can only be found in the imperfect present. When you let go of the rigid demands you place on the universe, the heavy exhaustion lifts. You begin to see that the slow line at the store is a chance to simply pause. The sudden rainstorm is a reason to slow down. The quiet, repetitive routines of your home are the heartbeat of a life well lived. You stop chasing a frictionless existence and start honoring the fragile, beautiful, deeply imperfect now. Imagine walking out of your front door into the early morning light. The air is cool, the street is quiet. There will undoubtedly be noise later today. There will be traffic, difficult conversations, and unexpected disruptions. The wind will eventually blow. But in this exact second, none of that has happened yet. The sky above you is vast and entirely open. You realize that you do not have to carry yesterday's driftwood, and you do not have to brace for tomorrow's storm. You are simply here, And being here is enough. When you stop fighting the small inconveniences, a profound quiet strength rises within you. You realize that no careless comment, no sudden delay, and no minor mistake has the power to steal your peace unless you willingly hand over the keys. You reclaim your time. You reclaim your mind. You begin to look at the people you love, not as interruptions to your schedule, but as the very center of your world. You learn to watch the dark clouds pass without letting them darken your spirit. Think about your own life. Look at the ordinary moments surrounding you right now, the quiet space you are in, the light coming through the window, the sound of the room. This exact moment will never exist again in the history of the universe. It is already fading into a memory. Do not let it slip away while you are busy fighting a battle in your mind. Pause, breathe, release the tension in your jaw. Let your shoulders drop. You have carried the weight of trying to control everything for long enough. You can lay it down now. If these lessons touched your heart, share this video with someone who may need a little more peace today. Let life meet you where you are.